Hey everybody, welcome back to Triple C Ranch. Today I want to talk about babies. Trump has got this pretty cool new idea about increasing our population, which has been on a steady decline for a long time. We'll talk about that in a little bit, a little bit more in a minute. He's got this cool idea about 5,000 per baby incentive to incentivize public to have more children. So, and I love the way he just thinks out of the box. He's always coming up with things like the Greenland thing and the Panama Canal. It's just like stuff that's not on folks' radar, but they're important. He constantly is putting his finger on what's important, and this is really important. Elon's been talking about it a lot lately. It's a big concern of his. So now he's put out this idea, and here's ABC News talking about it, and they are, you know, thinking of doing it. And he said it sounds like a good idea to me when asked about this plan for new mothers. So it's in the very beginning stages. Nothing's really been set yet. But it's being kicked around, and a lot of people are out there. Some are boohooing it, some are loving it. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So I asked Grok, and this is basically what I've been hearing everyone say, is that what is the birth rate right now? The U.S. birth rate in 2023 was approximately 11 live births per 1,000, which isn't good. We apparently need, which equals 1.6165 per women. So the problem with that is that we need it to be around 2.1, which it talks about down here. So we're not replacing folks that are dying off. We're not replacing them at the proper rate. So we are in trouble, like Eon says, to maintain a stable population without relying on immigration, which we don't want to do that. The TFR, which it talks about up here, that's the total fertility rate. It needs to be around 2.1. That's the magic number per woman. That accounts for replacing both parents and compensating for mortality before reproductive age. And we're just nowhere near that at 1.6165. So it's kind of scary. Think about it. The human race, it hangs in the balance. We're going to go extinct if we keep up at this rate. So my thinking was, how did we get here? What's been the progression? So looking, and actually, before I get there, Elon Musk, this is some of the things he's been talking about. He's been very vocal about the declining birth rates. He's been warning that civilization could collapse. It's the biggest danger that we face, he says, is the declining birth rate. If people, this is his quote, if people don't have more children, civilization is going to crumble. Mark my words. And what I find really funny about Elon Musk is that he's a stand-up guy. If this was a full-on liberal, situation here, they like Twitter was owned by very liberal and run by very liberal people, you wouldn't have their own program fact checking them and kind of calling them out. And right here on his own platform, it says exaggerated claims. Musk has made hyperbolic statements like claiming in 2024 that declining fertility could lead to the mass extinction of entire nations. I just thought that was interesting when I was doing a little bit of research on this, that his own program, that's how cool he is with being with the free speech. His own platform, his own grok that they created is even saying, he can be a little hyperbolic at times. And he's known for all of his children, like it says here, his personal mission. I found this really cool. He's the father of 14, and now that I don't find cool. He's got 14 children with 4 women. He's taken a personal stance on boosting birth rates. He's reportedly called his offspring his legion and built a Texas compound to house his family. So he's doing his part. He's not really doing it the way most Christians would prefer, where you're getting married and you got your stable situation and all that. But he takes care of his children, and and the women that are helping him with this. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The next video that I wanted to look at here was tweet, grok, whatever, is the birth rate decline. This was fascinating to me. In the 1800s, the TFR was around 7 children per woman. We had large families, typical of an agrarian society, and like it said here, the reason is driven for labor in rural communities, high child mortality rate. So people are having a bunch because you're going to lose some. The From 1850 to 1900, it dropped from 7 to 3.9, a major decline. Factors were urbanization, industrialization, education of women empowerment, increasing education for women. Women started saying, I don't know if I want to have kids. I mean, it's kind of a big toll it takes, obviously, on women, and I think a lot of them are starting to check out of it. So there was just cultural shifts, religious and cultural attitudes, along with early contraceptive use. So you saw it drop quite a bit at that point, and then from 1900 to 1940, it dropped again. It dropped to 2.1. So now we're in danger zone now. We're like just treading water. Economic hardship, the Great Depression, there was a lot of things. Again, contraceptive got better. So it was starting to get ugly. 1940, 1960, it was kind of interesting. It peaked at 3.5, and it was up. So it actually went up from 40 to 60, and that was the baby boom. The baby boom interrupted the long-term decline with birth rates near double than it had previously been. So that was interesting. And then 60 to 80, we reached an all-time low of 1.77, which was scary. Contraceptive access, it was getting easier. Women's workforce participation, so women were getting out there and working. But it was at the cost of really our society, and it was population was beginning to decline. 1980 to 2007, it fluctuated from 1.8 to 2.1, a slight increase. Economic stability, there was a lot of immigration apparently from high fertility groups, which is interesting. And then currently, 2007 to 2023, it dropped to 1.62, a 23% decline from 2007. Scary, scary stuff. Recession, shifting priorities, younger cohorts prioritize career, education, personal aspirations over parenthood, cost of child rearing, cultural norms, declining marriage rates, and acceptance of smaller families or childlessness. So it's becoming like cool now to not have kids. You can't survive as humans. We can't with that mindset. So, and there's people like Chelsea Handler, supposed to be a comedian. Never found her funny at all. She's out there. I got a little video here. We'll play of it. It's 1 minute long, and it's kind of gross. I apologize for some of the things she says, but it's just this is where we've been getting to with all this. People like her encouraging this. So just watch this nastiness.
This is a day in the life of a childless woman. I wake up at 6 a.m. I remember that I have no kids to take to school, so I take an edible, masturbate, and go back to sleep. I wake up at 12:30 p.m. and get ready for a busy day of doing whatever the I feel like. I put on my most impractical and stylish shoes since I won't be chasing a child around the grocery store. I go to my fave spot in Paris to grab a croissant. I do a meditation sesh on the plane since I have no screaming kids, allowing me all the time in the world to become enlightened. The weightlessness of my existence has granted me superhuman powers. I teleport myself back home. Now it's time for a workout, so I hit Mount Everest for a quick climb. I invent a time machine, go back in time, and kill Hitler. Freeze, you bastard! It's amazing what you can do when you have this much free time. And that's a day in the life of a childless woman.
Gross, right? So she's promoting, hey, let's all be selfish, and it's all about me. And that's where we've gotten. I mean, like you look at pro athletes now. LeBron James has ruined basketball. It's all about him. He runs around calling himself the greatest of all time. Who does that? So uh, that's that's very depressing, and I don't like it.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
So at any rate, Trump is taking this on. Uh, and again, there's a lot of folks that are very intrigued by this, and one of them is Matt Walsh. Here's his take on this. Let's have a listen to this.
Okay. Now, I think this is a great idea. I mean, I'm very much in favor of almost any plan to incentivize people to have kids and start families. The only stipulation I would make, and that these plans should make, is that whatever the reward is, you only get it if you're married. Okay, we don't want to incentivize single motherhood. It's not as simple as we need people to have more kids. Yes, we need people to have more kids, but in a certain context. If the goal is to maintain, support, and protect human civilization, then, yeah, I mean, step one, you need more people. You need the people who are here to create more people. That's how it works. But then, as part of that, it's not even like step two. As part of step one, the new people who are born need to be born into a certain context, and that context needs to be the family, a stable nuclear family. So we don't want to incentivize single motherhood. We don't want to give, a woman who already has 3 baby daddies an incentive to go out and find 3 more. So it should be $5,000 per delivery if you are married, only if you're married. Make it $10,000, and if we are whittling down the pool a bit like that, then make it $10,000 per delivery. Make it $20,000, okay? And make it retroactive so that I can collect my 60 grand if we're doing $10,000 per delivery. So there's a lot that can be done here. How about this? Here's a plan I like. No income tax for married couples with kids under 18. Now, as you know, I'd like to see the income tax abolished entirely across the board for everyone. But if that isn't going to happen, which it almost certainly isn't, then why not this? Abolish the income tax for all families that feature married parents with kids under 18. That would be the ultimate incentive.
So I like what he's saying there. I think that's pretty cool. Um, the idea about no tax for folks with kids that are married, we can increase our population while simultaneously getting rid of lazy government funded individuals who add zero value to our society. The Dems figured out a long time ago, and to their credit, that they could organize this group into a very large voting bloc that would keep them in power. This was evil genius level thinking that started a very long time ago. While us conservatives were busy working and coming out to vote every 4 years and going back to work and not paying attention to what they were doing with our kids in school, they were busy changing curriculum for grade schoolers that would slowly indoctrinate them towards their goals, towards their plan. We're just now figuring this out, and we're beginning to fight back. Um, and listen, I get it. It's tricky out there. I thank God daily that I'm in a great marriage and I don't have to walk through the minefield that my teenagers are entering into. There was no social media or even internet when I was their age. We had to mingle in person, and that was a good thing. Now kids have a million ways to kill time that doesn't involve risky relationships with real women. Men are more concerned about getting involved with women, and rightly so. It's a dangerous world out there. So getting a vasectomy might seem to some a great idea.
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap!
So to wrap up, let's encourage the right behavior in this country. Solid family groups should be the norm. We can't sustain this path we're on. We can't. No taxes. 5, 10, hell, even 50,000 per kid would be fine with me. But it has to be the right way. Instead of filling out tax forms every year, they'd fill out yearly forms in regards to their family situation. It's easy peasy. In the end, I try and always ask myself if God would like whatever idea I'm throwing out there. And in this case, I believe unequivocally that would be a yes. God would like this. So God bless you guys. Now, go make some babies.